Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm astrologer Sood, and today I'm going to talk about Jupiter transit into the sign of Capricorn for a period of 1 year and 18 days approximately. And Jupiter came into the sign of Capricorn on 30th of March 2020, and it's going to stay there till 6th of April 2021. And in this period of lockdown, it's going to go retrograde on 20th June again, and it's going to come back into its position into Capricorn on 20th November. So no travel this year, and just because of the lockdown also, everyone is just irritated and just fed up of and tired of just sitting at home. So it's better to do something creative and just see your predictions, how they go for this year, and just make your plannings. And if you want to know more and in detail about the predictions, stay tuned. So everyone is tired of lockdown these days and nobody wants to stay home, but we have no choice. So I just thought that why shouldn't I make a video on Jupiter transit into the sign of Capricorn and give predictions for this year. And you can make your plannings after the lockdown is over and just see where your life can be better. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Jupiter transit into the sign of Capricorn for a period of 1 year and 18 days approximately. And Jupiter entered Capricorn on 30th of March 2020, and it's going to stay there till 6th of April 2021. So predictions for all the 12 zodiac signs. So before starting with the predictions, let me tell something general about the planet Jupiter, which is the largest planet of the solar system. It stays in one zodiac sign for a period of 1 year and 18 days approximately. So for that 1 year, you're affected by this planet. And whether you're affected positively or negatively, it depends where Jupiter will come in your horoscope. Though Jupiter always gives you the best things in your life. Mostly people get married if Jupiter comes in your 7th house or even in the 1st house, because it aspects the 7th house. It gives you children if it comes in transit in your 5th house. You can plan your kids during this period. And you can settle abroad if it comes in your 12th house. So it's the 1 year transit that matters the most. But during this time when Corona has hit the world, what I suggest people is, when you're staying at home, how to build your immunity is by drinking Rudraksh water. People who have taken consultations from me, they know that I always suggest Rudraksh, and just try drinking its water and just see the positive effect it has on your life. And if you don't have it, then you can buy after the lockdown is over. You can buy from anywhere, and just try drinking its water daily. Just builds your immunity, because till this year, I think so, till December, you've got to keep your immunity strong. And let's get started with the predictions for the sign of Aries. For Aries ascendant people, that means if you have number 1 in the 1st house, Jupiter transits in your 10th house, and 10th house is for career, new job, new prospects. And I think so it's a good year. This year will give you something new in your work area. It aspects your 2nd house, and 2nd house is for family get-togethers. You might have some family get-togethers this year, of course, after Corona ends. And it aspects your 4th house from the 7th aspect, and it aspects your 6th house also. So 4th house is that you will remain home oriented. You will focus more on your home front. Maybe you might increase your bonding with your family members. And it aspects your 6th house is that yes, you might see a promotion or an increment in your income. And my advice for all the Aries ascendant people is that, because you're super active, just do take time for some yoga, aerobics, and yes, 10 minutes of meditation would do. And do drink water of 10 Mukhi Rudraksh and 11 Mukhi Rudraksh daily. And if you want to buy them, you can buy from my website or at the link given below. And start drinking its water daily in a silver glass till December 2020 to keep yourself strong and to build your immunity against Corona. And punchline for Aries people are that they always buy healthy snacks for their family. No matter what, they always eat healthy, and that's a good thing. For all the Taurus ascendant people, that means if you have number 2 in the first house, Jupiter comes in your ninth house in transit. And ninth house is for foreign travel and long distance travel. You might travel abroad this year. And if we see the aspect of Jupiter, it falls on your first house, third house, and fifth house, which is very auspicious. Jupiter always aspects fifth house, seventh house, and ninth house from where it's placed. And here it's aspecting the first house, third house, and fifth house. And you can see in the chart that first house is for yourself, third house is for your communication skills, and fifth house is for children, for education, for love. And yes, you can think about doing some online course, or maybe you always wanted to do something, or you might start learning French. Yes, because you might think about going abroad and you want to learn some good language and just be there and just feel more comfortable and confident. And according to the circumstances, which I feel, you must do more yoga, you must do more exercise to keep yourself active. And for immunity, I suggest 5 Mukhi Rudraksh, 3 Mukhi Rudraksh, and 10 Mukhi Rudraksh this year for you. Just drink its water daily, dipped in a silver glass. You can dip it all night and drink it daily as a ritual till December 2020. And yes, the punchline for Taurus people is that they always keep their used glasses of water all around the house because they forget to pick them up. Well, that's not a good thing. And make it a point that you pick up those glasses and keep them back in the kitchen. For Gemini ascendant, that means if you have number 3 in the first house of your horoscope, Jupiter transits in your 8th house. 8th house is usually dreaded because usually people think that it's the house of losses, mishaps, accidents. But if you see the positive side, it's also the house of inheritance. You might inherit something from your parents, or they might gift you something big. And yes, there is also chances that you might dig deeper in the realms of fiction, philosophy, or maybe occult. You might go deeper into the things you always wanted to do. And Jupiter aspects 5th house, 7th house, and 9th house from where it's placed. And you can see in the chart that it's aspecting your 12th house, it's aspecting your second house, and it's aspecting your 4th house. So second and fourth is usually you'll become more home oriented and you will focus more on your home affairs. Your family will become important all of a sudden. You can also travel abroad this year because there is an aspect on the 12th house of foreign travel, and Geminians, you can expect foreign travel later this year. And one tip for all the Geminians is that drink water of 11 Mukhi Rudraksh daily in a silver glass for immunity against corona, because till December 2020 you have to be strong mentally and physically. And yes, the punchline for all the Geminians is that they find it so hard to stick to one channel. They don't know what to watch. Yes, it happens with all the Geminians. For all the Cancer ascendant people, that means if you have number 4 in the first house, Jupiter transits in your 7th house of partnership, of marriage. For all the Cancerians who are single, you can expect that you can get married this year. And for all the people who are married, you can expect that you will be deciding to do something new or maybe in partnership with someone. And if we can see that Jupiter aspects for 5th house, 7th house, and 9th house from where it's placed, you can see that it's aspecting your first house, it's aspecting your 11th house, and it's aspecting your 3rd house. And yes, you will become more self-oriented this year. You might start some yoga classes. Yes, most probably, just because it might make you focus more on your health. And 11th house is for gain. Income is coming for sure. And 3rd house is communication. You might know how to play polite with your life partner this year. You will know the tricks, how to be polite with your wife, how to make good food for her. Maybe that's the trick. And yes, my advice for all the constituencies: drink water of 8 mukhi and 9 mukhi rudraksh daily in a silver glass as preventive measure against coronavirus, just because it's really good for immunity. And the punchline for all the constituents is that they are pointlessly opening the refrigerator time and again. Please stop that. For Leo ascendant people, that is, if you have number 5 in the first house, Jupiter transits 6th house, and 6th house is for job. And you might think about changing your job, letting go of the past. You're just fed up of your routine and you don't want to stick on to it for long. And Jupiter always aspects the 5th house, 7th house, and 9th from where it's placed. And we can see that it's aspecting your 10th house of career, 12th house of foreign travel, and 2nd house of family get togethers. And yes, your bank balance will increase for sure, and you will start focusing on yourself this year. And the rudraksh that I recommend you is 10 mukhi rudraksh. Just drink its water daily, dipped in silver glass all day long as immunity against corona. And punchline for all the Leo people is that they're always hogging in the bathroom for self-care for hours and on, and don't let anyone else enter it. For Virgo ascendant people, that means if you have number 6 in the first house, Jupiter transits your 5th house of children, education, and it's an extremely good year because all the people who have been planning to plan a child, this is the year that you can go for it. And for all the students who have been just dreaming about going abroad for studies, you can file your visas. Jupiter aspects 5th house, 7th house, and 9th house from where it's placed, and you can see in the chart that it's aspecting your 9th house of foreign travel, 11th house of income and new contacts, and 1st house of self grooming. You might go abroad and you will feel that you are feeling better and confident about your personality. And yes, the Rudraksh that I suggest for all the Virgo people is Garb Gauri Rudraksh for all the married people, and a combination of 4 Mukhi, 5 Mukhi, and 6 Mukhi for all the students who want to pursue higher education. And yes, the punchline for all the Virgo people is that they always are cribbing about the messy corners of the house, but they do nothing about it. Well, that's really funny. For Libra ascendant people, that is, if you have number 7 in the first house, Jupiter transits your 4th house. 4th house is your home matters. And yes, you will become more home oriented this year. And Jupiter aspects 5th house, 7th house, and 9th house from where it's placed. And as you can see in the chart, it's aspecting your 8th house, and it's aspecting your 10th house and your 12th house. 12th house is for foreign travel, 10th house is for your career, and 8th house is something related to some personal things, some personal matters. You will have to see them this year, and you cannot ignore them because they might be related to your family. And the Rudraksh that I suggest to you is a combination of 8 Mukhi and 9 Mukhi Rudraksh. You have to drink its water all day long in a silver glass, and you just dip it all night and drink it all day long as a lifestyle till December 2020 as a remedy against corona, and just to stay fit and to increase your immunity. And if you find it hard finding it anywhere, you can buy online from my website also, or you can mail at the link below. And the punchline for all the Libra ascendant people is that they always try to finish their projects, which they are never able to do. They start big projects and they end up incomplete projects. So I think you lack the focus just because you are so talented that you want to do different things all the time. So the best thing is to do a little bit of yoga and meditation so that your focus increases and you are able to finish your projects. So good luck. For Scorpio ascendant people, that is, if you have number 8 in the first house, Jupiter transits your 3rd house of communication and effort. This year, you won't feel lazy at all. unlike yourself, you will think about doing more things this year. And Jupiter aspects 5th house, 7th, and 9th from where it's placed. And if you see in your chart, it is aspecting your 7th house, 9th house, and 11th house. 7th house is for partnership, and 9th house is travel related to work, and 11th house is house of friends, contacts, and yes, of course, income. So it's the house of gain. So you will be earning a lot this year, and this is your lucky year. Trust me, it's your lucky year. And my advice to all the Scorpions is that drink water of 12 Mukhi Rudraksh this year till December 2020 as a remedy against COVID, just because you've got to stay active, healthy, and this will increase your immunity for sure. And the punchline for all the Scorpions is that it's very hard to convince them to take a bath. Oh God, if you're a kid, you must listen to your mom. You must take bath every day, every morning. And if you're not listening to your mom, that's not good. For all the Sagittarius ascendant people, that is, if you have number 9 in the first house, Jupiter comes in your second house, and second house is for your bank balance. And of course, you will inherit some money this year for sure. Jupiter aspects 5th, 7th, and 9th house from where it's placed. And as you can see in your chart, it's aspecting the 6th house, 8th house, and 10th house. It might be a possibility that you might inherit some money from your parents, and later you might use it to increase your business prospects, and that would be favorable, and that would further increase your income. And the Rudraksh that I suggest for all the Sagittarius ascendant people is a combination of 6 Mukhi Rudraksh, 4 Mukhi Rudraksh, and 11 Mukhi Rudraksh. So you can buy these 3 Rudraksh online or from my website at the link given below, or you can just drop an email and you shall be provided with it later on. And the punchline for all the Sagittarius people is that they light the candles so beautifully in the drawing room, but they forget to blow them out. For all the Capricorn ascendant people, transit of Jupiter this year, it's going to be a life-changing transit, just because Saturn also entered its own sign after a period of 30 years, and now Jupiter joined on 29th of March this year, and it's going to stay there till 6th of April. And this transit will be amazing for all the Capricorn ascendant people. We can see that Jupiter aspects 5th, 7th, and 9th house from where it's placed, and it actually is transiting your first house. That means its 5th aspect will be on the 5th house, 7th aspect will be on the 7th house, and 9th aspect will be on the 9th house. So this year you will also travel abroad. This year you can also plan a child if you want to. And for all the people who are finding their soulmates, you will get the one you love, and you might marry later. And the Rudraksh that I suggest for all the Capricorn ascendant people is 15 Mukhi Rudraksh. You just have to drink its water, but if you find it costly that you don't want to buy it, you can drink a combination of 8 and 10 Mukhi Rudraksh daily as immunity against COVID. And the punchline for all the Capricorns is that they are never so free just because they are having calls all day long. Just switch off your phone today. Please, you need some rest. For all the Aquarius ascendant people, that is, if you have number 11 in the first house, Jupiter comes in transit in your 12th house. 12th house is for foreign settlement, foreign trade, and yes, little bit of expenses are also coming for sure. Jupiter aspects 5th, 7th, and 9th house from where it's placed, and it's aspecting your 4th house, 6th house, and 8th house. And as you can see that you have been ignoring your home front a lot last year, so this year you can compensate on it. and it's aspecting the sixth house. That is, you need to take care of your health a lot. You need to do some yoga and exercise, otherwise you will have some stomach upset at the end of this year. And yes, Jupiter aspect on the eighth house is very good. You might resolve some secret matters that were in your life last year, and it will be in your favor. And the Rudraksh that I suggest for all the Aquarians is a combination of 7 Mukhi, 10 Mukhi, and 11 Mukhi Rudraksh. You can buy all these three from anywhere, or if you find it hard, you can also buy from my website. And the punchline for all the Aquarians is that you're very sweet, you're very warm, but sometimes you are cooking things that people don't like. So stop that. For all the Pisces ascendant people, that is, if you have number 12 in the first house, Jupiter comes in your 11th house of gains. And it will stay there till 6th April 2021. So 1 year, it is a very auspicious year just because 11th house is for gains, for new contacts. And Jupiter aspects 5th, 7th, 9th from where it's placed. And it is aspecting your 3rd house of communication, 5th house of education, and 7th house of partnership or marriage. And if you are in love with someone, this year you will be quite vocal about it. You might be able to say and express your feelings better. And or it can be that you might be able to tell your parents that you are in love with someone and you want to marry that person. The Rudraksh that I suggest for all of you is a combination of Gauri Shankar Rudraksh and 5 Mukhi Rudraksh. You have to drink its water daily all day long. And the punchline for all the Pisces is that they are singing the same song all day long. They never change it, they keep on repeating it. Please change the song. On a funny note, I will say bye-bye to all of you. Take care of yourself. Don't feel bored. I know it's quarantine period. Make the best use of it.